welcome to today's Bible Bite. I want to discuss with you the third beatitude, which is meekness. But before I begin, I brought a special guest with me, my dog Ginger. Come here, Ginger. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. Roll over. Good girl. Can I have a hug? Good girl. Jump up. Good girl. Okay, twirl. Good girl. And the last trick she's going to show you, Ginger, jump through. Good girl. Now, if you want to know what this illustration using Ginger and her tricks is all about and how it relates to meekness, keep watching to find out more. Thank you for joining me today. My passage today is Matthew 5:5, and it says, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." Now, this is a third beatitude, and if you want to know what the first two are, I would encourage you to go look at my other videos on the Great Commission Alliance Media channel. You can get both of them there. Now, today, I'm going to be discussing this issue of what meekness is. And a lot of times people translate it as gentleness, but it actually is not gentleness. It means so much more. So today we're going to unpack that briefly. Now, I bet you're really wondering why in the world I used my dog at the beginning of this video. And I want to go through that. So the word meek is actually used when people tame wild animals, believe it or not. So since Ginger is a tame dog, I wanted to show you some of the tricks that she does. She's a very obedient dog, and she's a lot of fun, and she does great tricks. So how does that relate to humans and our relationship with God? And I want to go into that. So if you think about a wild animal, you can think of a wild animal as they're wild at heart. You cannot tame them. They are scary, they are vicious. You can say they're disobedient, they're not going to obey you. They'll run from you. They are completely dependent upon themselves, and they often will be destructive. So that is a good description of what our human nature is like before we come to Christ. And so what Jesus is saying here is meekness is basically being tamed by God. So as humans, our wild, disobedient nature has now become tamed by God. And so, but there's still this struggle where we want to control our lives and live for ourselves. Now, Jesus is referencing several Old Testament passages when he's talking about meekness. One of them is Psalms 37, and one of them is Proverbs 3:5-7. And I would encourage you to go check out those passages. I'm going to briefly go over them, but Proverbs 3:5-6 and 7 are very interesting because they really help you unpack what it is to be meek. And now if you look at it, you're trusting the Lord with all your heart. You're not leaning on your own understanding of what's going on in the world or your own life. You're leaning on Him. You're acknowledging Him in all your ways, and you're depending on Him to make your path in life. And you are not being wise in your own eyes, but you are fearing Him and following Him. Now, Psalms 37, it takes an outward look of what the world is like. So the world is often full of chaos and destruction, and you can look at the world and you can be angry, or you can be anxious, or you can envy others' lives, and you can strive to chase after worldly pleasures. And this is the opposite of what meekness is. Meekness is bending your will to God's will. It is completely relying on Him, submitting to Him, trusting in Him, hoping in Him, waiting patiently for Him to move in your life. These are all things that encompass what this word meekness means. It also means in Galatians 2:20, that's a really good New Testament passage that talks about meekness. It says, "I have been crucified with Christ, And I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in him who gave his life for me, right? And so it's this idea of emptying yourself and filling your life with God and living every day by faith in him. This is what meekness is. Now, right now, as a Christian, or even if you're not a Christian, and you're looking at the world, and it just is chaos right now. It feels like it's burning down around you. Now, this is the perfect time for you to wait patiently on him, to learn meekness, to learn to submit your will to his. And you will find that your life will be at peace. Your life will be so much more satisfying because you're not striving for things that you won't be able to keep, but instead you are living for him. And that is so much better, and that is such a better place to be. I would encourage you, if you have never put your faith in Christ, it's so simple. All you have to do is just tell him, Jesus, I need you. Please forgive me for my sins. I believe you are who you say you are, and I want to live my life for you. And that's it. That is the first step you take in your relationship with him. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our Great Commission Alliance Media channel. See you again next time.